We celebrate today the feast of Saint Francis of Rome, a saint that does not get spoken much of, not to be confused with Saint Francis of Assisi. Saint Francis of Rome is somewhat similar to the life of Saint Rita of Cascia, who we have this statue of here in the church, in the fact that Saint Francis lived multiple, what we would say, vocations within the church. She was a wife, she was a mother, but ultimately then became a religious sister, which is the same life that Saint Rita had here. And there's a quote of Saint Francis of Rome that is actually quite famous, and some of you might even have it maybe hanging up in your house, or I know that you can buy it to hang it up at your kitchen and things, if it said things of those sorts. But it the quote goes like this: a housewife must always be ready to leave the altar of the Lord to attend to her housework. A housewife must be always willing to leave the altar of the Lord to attend to her housework. What's interesting is that many of the saints speak again and again about what is one's vocation and how do they live it out properly. A monk can surely not live his life as a father of 11. A father of 11 can surely not live his life as a monk. A religious sister does not live her life like a married woman, and a married woman cannot live her life as a religious sister. And there often can be these frustrations, and we see confusions. Many of you know of or have seen times and eras when priests within the church live their lives more like secular people. And there are many secular people that were living their lives much more pious and devout as priests. One of my favorite writers on the priesthood is Saint Alphonsus Liguori, who a constant theme in his writings to priests is the fact that if there are people in your parish that love our Blessed Mother more than you, there's something wrong. If there's people in our parish that have a deeper devotion to the Eucharist in your parish, there's something wrong. If there's people in your parish that are more faithful in silent prayer, there's something wrong. That you are called to be their spiritual leader and their father, and yet time and time again we see that this often doesn't work out in the church, and we have priests that don't pray, we have priests that don't honor Our Lady. The same can be true when it comes to the call to motherhood, the call to fatherhood, the call to our true vocations, and there can always be this temptation for us to not fully understand our vocation and to accept and embrace it. But St. Francis of Rome is reminding that great call that there is. St. Vincent de Paul speaks about this as well in his writings about how, in St. Vincent de Paul, of course, the great lover of charity and mercy, he would say that when you leave your prayer to go to the door because there is someone in need, that your prayer does not end, but your prayer in a certain sense continues, and that we need to see the service that we do, the acts of charity, the acts of mercy, the acts of love as really fulfilling our vocation. And thus the role of being a mother, the role of being a housewife, the role of being a father, the role is an important one and not one to be taken lightly, and thus we're called to live it to the full. So today let's pray for that grace to see our vocation, no matter what it might be, that we live it faithfully, that we do what is necessary. Of course, all of you today have come to the altar of the Lord, so thanks be to God for that. I was actually last night at the end of Mass, I was just thinking there were 70 plus people at Mass last evening, and we, as you all know, we do head counts at the Masses, and there were well over 1,000 people at our weekend Masses this weekend, and I'm just, as a pastor, just tremendously thankful for the devotedness and the faithfulness of my people, and We also need to be devoted and faithful to our particular vocations in the fullest extent, to love those that are entrusted to us, to care for those who the Lord cares to give us, so that we may be living our lives as God invites us to. Let us stand.